to OC6. We have a lot of awesome stuff to go through and show you all today. So now, in order to do this, we need to build we need to do a couple of things. The first is we need to build a lot of technology that's going to help advance and deliver this feeling of presence. The second thing that we need to do is build an ecosystem of all the experiences that need to be delivered here. So on the ecosystem side, the first step that we need to reach is reaching critical mass in the community. And once we get to a certain size in the community, it's going to become economical for all developers, from the independent folks up to the biggest AAA developers that are out there to build content for VR. And once we reach that point, the amount of content is just going to explode, and that's going to push adoption further. So in getting there, Quest is off to a great start. It's only been on sale for about 4 months now, and we are selling them as fast as we can make them. But even more importantly, though, is that retention is good. Right? So people are using it week after week after week, which is a great signal for how the content ecosystem is getting stronger, and VR is becoming something that more people are stepping in and out of on a day-to-day basis, rather than this kind of one-off special experience that you need all this different equipment for and you need to dedicate a whole room in your house to. So these are all really good signs. And to get to critical mass, we're focused on building forward compatibility into all the new devices that we build, so that all the content that you're all making just works across everything now and going forward. I am proud to share the news that as of today, people have bought more than $100 million of content in the Oculus store. And since Quest came out just several months ago, more than 20% of that is from Quest already and growing really quickly. So when you build something for Rift, that library of content isn't available to people who are on Quest. So we've been looking at what we can do here. And we want to, so the first thing that we want to announce today is we've been looking at how we can make this possible. So we've made a major software update, and we have a new product that we're calling Oculus Link that is going to make it so that if you have a gaming PC and a USB-C cable, you're now going to be able to run all the Rift content on your Quest. That early next year, we're launching hand tracking on Quest. All right, want to see it? Let's check this out. All right. So this means no controllers, no buttons, no straps, no external sensors, just full range of motion in your hands. And even if you've spent a lot of time in VR and you've spent a lot of time with touch controllers, I think that the first time that you get a chance to experience this and you just wiggle your fingers and you see that full range of motion in your hands, it takes the experience to a whole new level. And you're going to get a chance to try this out on the demo floor after the keynote today. So I'm really excited to get this into all of your hands. Right, and it picks up electrical impulses that are sent through your nervous system and turns them into digital signals that you can use as input in virtual and augmented reality. And it's completely non-invasive. Right? There's no surgery, no implants. You don't have to get holes drilled in your head. It's just a wristband. And so it gives you the sensation of being able to interact with digital objects just by thinking. And this is clearly early, right? It's gonna be a number of years before this gets into any of the products that we're shipping, but it works. And they have a dev kit that they're shipping already now. And now that the Control Labs team is going to be joining our Facebook Reality Labs team that works on augmented and virtual reality, we're going to invest and make sure that this is a foundational part of the input for the next computing platform. And I'm really excited about this one, so I just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes today. You are going to be able to build your own worlds and experiences. You're going to be able to play games. You're going to be able to explore. You're going to be able to hang out with your friends and, of course, meet new people. And because everyone is going to be able to create their own spaces and experiences within it, Horizon is going to have this property where it just grows and expands and gets better and better over time as we focus on building this out for many years to come. So let's take a look at this.
Beyond our world, there's another world. And it's right here, on my face. Welcome. This is Horizon. Think of me as your guide / self-appointed spokes avatar, here to show you around. You know, Horizon is filled with possibilities. You can play stuff, make stuff, fly stuff. Whoa! Really love the stash, Stuart.
What up, Stuart?
Wait, I want a mustache. Horizon isn't about rules or limits or pants or people telling you not to fly an airplane while drinking your fresh ground, fair trade, French press morning coffee through a curly straw. Isn't that right, Debbie? Mm-hmm. It's about getting out there and trying new things, making your mark, making friends with an Australian named Mark.
Oh, actually, I'm from New Zealand.
And you can even build a world of your own, like laser tag moon landing. Or this islandy place with these cutie patooties. Boop. In Horizon, the world is your lobster.
Isn't it oyster?
That too. So come, join us. A never-ending, ever-changing world beyond your world is waiting! Woo! Debbie gets it!
You heard Mark talk about how we'll open up the ability to play Rift apps on Quest later this year. This is especially great for Rift developers who've been with us since the very beginning. Your reach extends when more people can access the content that you've created. It means you can build high-end PC experiences and also take advantage of the biggest possible market. Quest owners who have a gaming PC will have access to the deep library of stellar Rift content. They'll have the best of both worlds, the best games from Rift when connected to a PC, and the portability of a Quest. And now, PC gamers who are deciding between Rift or Quest have even more options. Remote rendering is fantastic for development, too. You can iterate more quickly by running on a PC while streaming the output to your Quest. Simply hit the play button for the Unity or Unreal Oculus plugin, and you'll be able to preview right on the device. No need to compile and transfer new APK first. This is, yeah, I know. I'm excited about it. It's development at PC speed for a mobile device. And beyond what we're shipping today, we're also imagining, innovating, and building things for the future. Things like hand tracking, which will revolutionize input for VR. This is going to be a game changer. It will unlock new and intuitive interactions in your apps like never before. And we've all seen how truly magical it is when the hardware melts away and you can interact naturally in VR. We've pushed on engineering boundaries to unlock this capability that was on Quest that was previously thought to be impossible, and we're doing it just a few short months after Quest launched. Let's take a look at the computer vision magic that makes this all possible. Our hand tracking team has developed state-of-the-art methods of applying deep learning to understand the location and pose of your hands using just the onboard Quest cameras. No need for additional cameras, active depth sensors, or extra processors. Instead, we use model-based tracking and deep neural networks to accurately infer where your hands are and what they're doing, including exactly what your fingers are doing. And then we reconstruct those poses nearly instantly into VR. We're doing all of this in a mobile processor without compromising CPU or GPU. And we're also using our inclusive AI frameworks to test hand tracking for a wide range of people and environments. Early next year, we'll release a beta for Quest users And we'll ship an SDK so that you can start unlocking these new interaction mechanics in your apps.
Fairly new social VR world for Oculus Quest and Rift. With Horizon, we're learning from our experience building Facebook Spaces, Oculus Rooms, and venues. But our vision is bigger. A place where people can explore, play, create, and connect with others in a vast, thriving virtual world where anything is possible. Where you can drop in for a quick flying game of capture the flag with your college friends that live around the country. Or try your hand at building a tropical island and invite others to come check it out. Or organize a weekly painting session with folks who love art as much as you do. Horizon is launching with a closed beta early next year. Here's what you'll find there. A central, bustling public space where people can gather, meet, and explore great new experiences. Expressive and diverse avatars that let you represent the you choose to be in VR. And magical portals that teleport you and your friends to great new experiences in games. We'll start with a few games built by our team, like Wing Strikers, an aerial team sport. We can't wait to see how these inspire other people to contribute their ideas to this ever-expanding virtual world. Because we don't want to build it alone. That's why we're adding world building and creator tools right into Horizon. Now, you modders, builders, creators, and artists can bring your VR visions to life and add new experiences to Horizon. Everything from making a custom t-shirt for your avatar to building complex multiplayer games designed from scratch. We want to give everyone the superpowers to express themselves and create without taking off the headset. We'll even have visual scripting tools so you can build interactions into the experiences you design. It's very exciting. And when it's this easy to be creative and express yourself and add new experiences, in Horizon, there is always something new to explore. And of course, since Horizon is designed for communities to thrive, we want it to be welcoming to everyone. We're focused on promoting safe and positive interactions with social tools like groups and events where you can find people who share your interests. In-product guides to help newcomers learn about the world, plus built-in reporting, blocking, and moderation tools so you're always in control of your experience. All of this is hard to get right, but it's worth the effort. And over time, Horizon will get even better, with even more to explore and do as communities grow and thrive. Because anyone can help us create this world. We want to build the next generation of virtual communities together with you. Horizon is launching with a closed beta early next year, but everyone here at OC6 will get an invite to join. You'll get an early look at new experiences, see what we're building, and have a chance to create some experiences of your own. This is the next step on the journey towards VR with people at the center and the worlds that they will build. We'll see you there.
It is completely wild, isn't it? I see this video and I get chills again and again. From the first day I started working here, all I could think of is how we could harness this technology for work. And not just my work, everybody's work. As a technologist, it was tempting to approach it with an ROI calculator. How much money is saved at the manufacturing plant, at the store, at the office? But looking at how companies use VR today, what I found is that the impact of VR goes beyond what can be easily measured. With VR, employees build empathy for each other and their customers. They strengthen the company's culture, and they become high-performing teams. For example, the teams at Eon Energy They collaborate across distance. They're being more communicative and more productive. All the Walmart associates that with empathy training are more attuned to the needs of their shoppers. And the claim representatives at Farmers Insurance, they practice to refine their expertise. VR is improving outcomes. And a positive outcome is never more meaningful than when you are training to treat a patient.
We've equipped our facilities all around the world with virtual reality training so surgeons can learn, rehearse, and master skills on their own time and at their own pace, so they are better prepared to then operate on real patients. So from the start, we knew VR could help our surgeons learn new procedures faster than traditional teaching methods, like watching a video or reading textbooks. Now, we have the backup to show VR's effectiveness. The Imperial College London conducted a study about VR training modules on the anterior approach to hip surgery to illustrate how you could improve the training at the residency level. I am so proud to be able to present to you today the key findings. 83% of those trained in VR could then go into the lab setting with minimal guidance, whereas none of those traditionally trained truly VR is making a difference. Now look here, the higher up on this graph, the better the performance. Again, you'll see those trained in VR completely outperformed the non-trained surgeons in the study.
To start, companies need to deal with a large number of headsets, hundreds, thousands of them. Our device setup app allows you to provision many devices at the same time, fast and easy. From there, the device manager is the control center where you can remotely manage all the headsets and applications. You can also monitor and change settings and control software updates. For many people, work will be the first place where they experience VR, and we want to make it as easy and productive as possible. Very soon, as you have heard, we will have hand tracking, a very intuitive way for people to navigate in VR. No need to teach people how to use controllers. We have also designed a new look and feel in the headset. You will get a sleek new app launcher with a simplified menu where only the applications that are approved by the company will be visible. And the headsets can also launch directly into a predefined application. Now, these user and admin features are only part of the solution. Your customers need to know that the data is secure, the interactions are private, and the service is dependable. Facebook has already made headway in the enterprise with Workplace, our collaboration solution. With more than 2 million paid business users, they serve some of the strictest industries, like healthcare and banking. The data belongs to the companies and is handled with enterprise-grade security standards. We are building on the same infrastructure with the same principles. Companies also need peace of mind when their business is on the line. So we are providing enterprise-grade customer support. It includes a new help center with a dedicated team to keep operations running. We know that there is a lot more that we can do, so we are not stopping here. We have a full roadmap coming, including an ISV partner program, because we want you to get from opportunity to pilot to deployment faster. We want you to scale your own business. Oculus for Business is in a closed beta now, and we are launching this November. Oculus for Business is the first step towards a VR-powered future of work, a future beyond the limits of a 15-inch laptop screen, where new collaboration tools will make us more productive, and your coworkers thousands of miles away will feel as though they are right there next to you. A future where our physical realities will no longer limit our potential.
Today's postcard will share some of the recent progress we've made on inventing the future in optics, machine perception, and avatars. What I'm about to share is actual working prototype technology, not mocked-up demos or concept art. Let's start by following up on Varifocal and the Half Dome prototype, last seen at F8 more than a year ago. The headset we shared at F8 was the result of several years of research and prototyping of advanced display systems. Half Dome was our first prototype to achieve 2 milestones. First, using Fresnel lenses, it supported a 140-degree field of view. Second, by physically moving the screens based on eye tracking, it changed the focal depth and kept the image sharp even when inspecting close objects. Today, I'm pleased to be able to share a new Varifocal concept prototype, Half Dome 2, built by our display systems research team working closely with several other teams across FRL. Unlike the original Half Dome 2 is targeted primarily at ergonomics and comfort, both visual and physical. The new prototype is substantially smaller and lighter than Half Dome, largely because our optics team has managed to fold the optical path into a very small volume. Overall, we've been able to improve form factor substantially and reduce weight by a full 200 grams over Half Dome. The trade-off for that increased comfort is that the field of view is narrower than Half Dome, although still 20% wider than Quest. The Varifocal hardware has also been considerably improved, so let's take a quick look at that. Varifocal now relies on voice coil actuators and flexure hinge arrays, eliminating any points of sliding or rolling contact between the moving screen and the pod assembly. This improves on the original Half Dome by reducing noise and vibration to imperceptible levels. All in all, Half Dome 2 continues the trajectory of Half Dome toward more immersive and comfortable VR displays. But there's more. As I said earlier, we're inventing as fast as we can, so I'm delighted to be able to share our first electronic varifocal system, Half Dome 3. We've replaced all moving parts in Half Dome 2 with a thin stack of liquid crystal lenses. Let's take a look at a prototype module to understand how electronic varifocal works. The next few images will be recorded through the electronic varifocal module you see here. This is a real camera shot. Each liquid crystal lens can be turned on and off to alternate between 2 focal states. Here we indicate that a lens is on by highlighting it in orange. When the lens is turned off, the focus shifts to the far object. And then, when the lens turns back on, it shifts to the near object again. As you can see, a single liquid crystal lens makes a great pair of digital bifocals, shifting focus between 2 depths. To achieve smooth varifocal, we address the full stack of liquid crystal lenses, with each additional pair doubling the number of focal planes. In this example, 6 liquid crystal lenses are driven to sweep through 64 focal planes, and you can see the focal depth smoothly changing at the right as we cycle through different sets of lens states. In addition to having no moving parts, this approach allows significantly better form factor compared to its predecessors. Here, we compare our new electronic module to the original Half Dome assembly and see that there's a considerable reduction in size. When we integrate the electronic module into a complete prototype headset, it defines a new state-of-the-art for VR ergonomics. This is still very much research today, but here's a view through an early Half Dome 3 prototype. As you can see, without varifocal, the cassette gets blurry up close. But the electronic approach is able to replicate the smooth varifocal experience of mechanical systems at all depths, a promising sign for the future. If you'd like to know more about our varifocal work, we'll be putting up a deep dive blog post today. As important as visual quality is, a great display is just one key component of a compelling VR system. Computer vision, a part of what we call machine perception, is another essential element of the VR experience. For starters, the ability to localize the headset in the real world with great reliability and accuracy so that virtual objects are rock solid is what makes the virtual world seem real. That's not all, though. The ability to detect and reconstruct the real world and import parts of it as desired enables mixed reality. That is, mixing and matching of real and virtual in VR so that you could, for example, bring a real keyboard, mouse, and desk into your virtual workspace and use them as easily as you would in the real world. Reconstruction also enables social teleportation, which lets you share your surroundings with another person or jump into someone else's part of the world, as we saw in Boz's talk. And of course, it's the foundation of live maps. Let's look at some of the recent progress from our Surreal team on reconstruction. I want to emphasize that what you're seeing is the real thing with no smoke and mirrors. This is a fly-through of reconstructions of real spaces generated by state-of- I think this is absolutely amazing. If you can imagine stepping into one of those and just being in it, this phenomenal level of reconstruction will enable extraordinarily high-quality mixed reality experiences. Once you have a reconstruction, you can do whatever you want with it. Here are some pretty cool lighting effects in the reconstruction of Boz's dad's den. Rock-solid mixed reality is a key part of the future of VR, but there's still something missing, and that's people. We need to add truly convincing avatars to make VR ubiquitous because, as Yasser Sheikh from our Pittsburgh lab puts it, proximity determines social relationships, and social relationships make the world go round. Being together in person will always be the most satisfyingly human way to interact, but the technology we're developing has the potential to be the next best thing. Let's take a look at where we are with some of that. I'll start by picking up where we left off last year, with a codec avatar head shown next to actual video of Stephen speaking.
A good morrow to you, my boy. It's healthier to cook without sugar. Thank you, she said, dusting herself off.
That's amazingly realistic, but the level of expressiveness is pretty low, and expressiveness is perhaps the most critical part of social interaction. One of the important advances over the last year has been capturing more of that, as you can see in this next video. Here, Kevin's facial animation is being driven in real time entirely by cameras mounted in the headset. Of course, facial expressions only matter if you're interacting with someone. As you watch the next video, you can see Yasser and Danny wearing headsets in the real-world video in the corners. The faces in the center are avatars. And again, they're animated in real time entirely from cameras in the headset.
Well, what can your face do? Can you show us?
Well, I've always hoped you would ask me that question. So I have some pretty good, I think, mouth movement.
How about your eyes? Can you look left, right, up, down? Good.
Yeah, I can do surprise. Ah, ooh. I think one of my favorites is puffing my cheeks.
The mouthwash commercial.
And rolling my tongue.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty hard to believe that those aren't videos, huh? Although, to be fair, right now, it doesn't always work that well. Anyway, it certainly doesn't take a huge leap to imagine how doing that in VR could be far more satisfying and personal than seeing someone's image on a flat screen. Social teleportation will need more than just heads, though, so I'd like to share an initial step toward codec avatar bodies with you.
A codec avatar is a digital representation of a person. And so we build these to look like us, move like us, sound like us, and the purpose of it is to be able to connect people across distances.
Again, this is just a first step. What you saw was generated offline, not in real time, although it will become real time in the not too distant future, but it's promising. All this is still research with a lot left to do, but codec avatars have certainly come a long way. I think the 3 research areas we just looked at are pretty cool, but where this really gets exciting is when the pieces start coming together. If you put codec avatars together with reconstruction, you start to get true social teleportation, where anyone can be with anyone else, wherever they want, working with a mix of real and virtual. Let's take a very early peek at what that would be like. To set the stage, here's this is the stage in which codec avatar data is captured initially. This is where we put people in, we capture the information, and now we've done a reconstruction of that space so that now we can put a codec avatar in it.
We wish to spend time with and not be restricted only to those people who live close by. That's the promise of it, and this is research work that we've done right here in FRL Pittsburgh. I hope you enjoy the demo that you've seen, and we all look forward to what the future brings. Thank you.
Again, there's a long way to go, but this is a genuine glimpse of the future. It's going to take all the innovative technology we just saw and a lot more to make the leap to the next generation of VR. One reason we're making remote work the North Star is because it's a great way to connect people in VR, and connecting people is what Facebook is all about. Another reason is that making remote work really effective would have a hugely positive effect on how we live. Imagine what it would mean if you could work remotely as effectively as in person, or someday, maybe even more effectively, because you could have collaboration tools in the virtual world that could never exist in the real world. People wouldn't need to live near where they work. They could live near family, or where housing is affordable, or just wherever appeals to them. Commutes would vanish, and there would be dramatically fewer business trips with huge energy and environmental benefits. Companies would be able to tap into talent around the world, and the ability of talented people to find meaningful, high-paying work would no longer be determined by where they happen to have been born. That is truly a future that defies distance, and that by itself would be more than enough motivation. But there's yet another reason for building this prototype, and that's that a collaborative virtual workspace is something we in FRL would actually use. And when you're inventing something new, it's critical to know the customer well and have a rapid feedback cycle with them, and how better to do that than building something for yourself. So the key metric for our prototype will be whether we find we choose to use it for hours a day to do real work. If we find it that useful, so too will millions of other information workers, most likely including you. The long-term potential of next-generation VR is tremendously exciting, but I want to be really clear that this is still high-risk research. At best, it will take years to get to a prototype that proves out the concept. And Hofstadter was right. It always takes longer than you think, and that's especially true for turning research into something usable. So there's exciting potential for that quantum leap down the road, but for the foreseeable future, VR will be all about the Quest generation. Again, VR is happening now.